Hi, everyone. I'm Henry DeVries with Agency Rainmaker TV. This is the TV show where we help agency owners make it rain with right fit prospects. And so excited to have an agency owner with me today, Dave Mastovich. Dave, who do you serve?
Henry, I started my company because I saw how turnarounds of organizations that I was part of were the result of leadership and marketing. And I also saw when I was brought into other organizations to drive exponential growth, 3x, 5x, 10x growth, that it was driven by marketing and leadership. So my goal was to serve any company to drive growth through marketing and leadership. And that growth includes top and bottom line growth, but it also includes growth in enterprise value and growth in employee engagement, recruiting and retention, and then also personal and professional growth. So we serve any client, regardless of size or industry, that's looking to drive growth in all those areas. And we do that by leveraging the power of marketing.
Now I want to know what you do for them. So, what exactly do you do to drive that growth?
Well, we call it no bullshit marketing. And the biggest challenge that I've seen organizations have, and the biggest missed opportunity, thousands of companies we worked with, time and again, it's not understanding and defining their advantage. Time and again, if we come into a turnaround or to drive growth, those companies, those leaders don't understand what their advantage is. And then they can't define it. So the first thing we do is we help them understand and define their advantage, their competitive advantage, their differentiator, why people need them, want them, have to buy from them. So we do that through our process of voice of the customer interviews, talking to centers of influence, talking to employees, talking to senior leaders, analyzing data. And once we're able to help them understand and define their advantage, you begin to go out and convey that advantage to target audiences. And that's through my definition of no bullshit marketing, which is first clearly defining and drilling down your right fit target audiences, and then finding out what they think, feel, want, and need. Then the hard part, tweaking what you have so you can develop it and give it to them when and where they want it at a price they're willing to pay. Then you tell them about it again and again. But Henry, the problem is the vast majority of marketers become bullshit marketers because they focus on that last part, the telling them about it again and again without all that stuff on the front end. So that's how we do it.
So, how do you make it rain? How do you find right fit prospects for your business?
Well, one major way is my new book, No Bullshit Marketing, 17 Contrarian Ways to Increase Healthcare Referrals to Healthcare Services. And that book has been amazing because what it's enabled me to do is reach out to people who I can sense by talking to them or being referred to them or connected to them or even just reading about them that they're in the position to drive that exponential growth that we do. And so I can write a handwritten note, send my book out, and you'd be surprised at how quickly people actually respond to that. So the book has been fantastic. It gets people to respond because we're all inundated with people pitching us. So that's one major way. And it falls under the whole no bullshit marketing platform, which has a podcast of over 500 episodes, started about 10 years ago, has a blog that's been in a couple hundred media outlets, and includes my speaking. I get asked to speak a lot. All that's under the no bullshit marketing platform because when you're doing what we're doing, you are lumped in with everybody that does tactical execution of marketing. And while we do some of that and we do that really well, at least I think so, I'm biased, obviously. So many people do that, but who do you know that's out there talking about clearly understanding and defining your advantage? Who do you know out there that's talking about no bullshit marketing that includes referral source marketing, which is a big piece of the book, or B2E marketing, our term, our IP, our intellectual property around business to employee marketing, because it's about recruiting, retention, and results. Productivity goes up when you drive cultural storytelling. Who's talking about that when they're executing something? They want to do your pay-per-click or SEO, or they want to design the website or do a video, stuff that we do and do well. But we do all that stuff on the front end because it ties back to that definition of marketing that I said. Most people focus on that last part of telling about it again and again. So something like the book brings me credibility. Something like being on a podcast or a show with you gives me the chance to talk in a more long form so you can quickly decide, I don't want that guy. I just want my website. That's fine. Hope you do well. Or you can say, I do want growth like that. And then you talk to me.
For full transparency, I'm not surprised by the book doing well because I helped you edit it. And I was interested all the way along, and I loved your definition of marketing. I think starting there at the beginning is so important. And also, you have a different take on health services and how they need to be proactive in getting referred. It's no more hoping and praying for the phone to ring or for the patient to walk in. It's a proactive system, and I really admire that. Dave, do you have anything else to add before we go?
Well, yes, I would say the last point that you made there, when you find an expert, like I found with you in Indie Books, it took what was up here and enabled me to get it into a book form that goes way beyond the book. The same thing happens with no bullshit marketing. If you want a tactical execution, you have thousands or hundreds of thousands of firms to do that. But if you want no bullshit marketing and you want to understand your advantage and be able to tell that story through no bullshit marketing, then you hire an expert. That's what I did with you. I hired you and your team and I listened and you made me better. And that's what I'm saying that we all need to do, because when we're out there looking at people that are experts, that's our opportunity. And that's the thing that I want to do. And I get so excited about it. You can tell I get passionate. When I meet an expert and we hire experts, we listen to them. And your team will probably tell you, I listened to about 80, 90% of what you told us to do. And the stuff we didn't do might have been for, budget reasons, whatever. That's what I'd like to get people to understand is if you want to see change on the marketing side, just execution doesn't get it done. It takes that strategy, it takes that drill down, it takes that definition of marketing, it takes insights through voice of the customer. And that's the equivalent of me when I hired you and your team, is you have to then turn those people loose and leverage them.
Dave, we are so happy to have you as part of the Indie Books family. You bring some great intellectual capital here. Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. We hope to have Dave back on another show. Until then, make it rain.